Gei chitab kolenjin atinye komong'unet ale ibaibaindo tugul ole miten en betut noton nebo raini, betut noton nebo koang'wan kasi tarikit 18 kasarta nekatachin logoiywekab emet choton chebo saisiechu kong'eten ketesiet nebo Nenyon TV kikurenon Bett Elkana. Kitaunen logoiwechu orit nebo bunge nebo boror ole miten taitab committee noton netinye ak tililindo minister noton nebo ministry nebo tililindo noton ko Aden Duale koboto afisayat neo anan CEO en kibagengeit nebo tugetab boror nebo tililindo nebo SHA Dr. Mercy Mwangangi kaimuche koitita taitab committee noton asikobit kowol icheket tebutik cheterterchin chetinye ak kibagengeit noton nebo SHA koboto chopchinetabgei nebo emoni en boriet anan kirindaet nekitokyin miondo nebo Ebola.
Senator, the National Cancer Control Program guidelines by the Ministry of Health has guided both the clinical limits for each cancer chemotherapy regime, and SHA is implementing that fully. So a doctor will not just come and say it's 8, it's 6, it's 5. No, the guidelines are there, they're in law, and the Social Health Authority will implement that. So, and that is why we're increasing the limit, so that based on that we know we are covering as many people as possible. And I can tell you, Senator, that that pronouncement by His Excellency the President during the State of the Nation address in November last year, and what was happening that time and what's happening now is a world of difference. If you go to even the Regional Cancer Center in Mombasa, which is one of our biggest cancer centers, you'll see the difference that in terms of that.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. So the NCPP guidelines are guidelines that are actually developed by medical doctors and then endorsed by the Director General of Health. When a Kenyan has malaria, there's a standard treatment protocol of what they should be treated for malaria, the drugs they should get, the frequency they should get the drugs, the tests and the labs. So what we've done for cancer care now is we've developed the NCPP guidelines. All the types of cancers we have in Kenya, we've determined if you have a lymphoma, these are the number of cycles you need, these are the dosages, this is the treatment you'll require. All that has been put in the system. And so there's no disinhibiting a patient who may require cycle 2, 3, 4 because it's all put in the system in terms of clinical path.
En logoiwek alak chitab kolenjin ketokyin logoiwek choton chetinyegei ak finance bill nebo kenyitab 2026 ak 2027 ole kokitestai keboronji terchinet nekim en kwenutab membaekab kot neng'oten ng'atutik che ikochin kosubet serikali ak ichek choton chemiten kebeberta noton nesho serikali anan upinzani koimuche koyai ichek anan kong'ololchi sirikab logoiwek en betutab amut ole koimuche komong'e ichek choton chetie finance bill choton chetie serikali akomwa kole mamiten aisurut age tugul neung'at nekokinde en bill noton. Akot konoton komwoe kandoik anan membaekab kot neng'oten ng'atutik chebo upinzani kole miten aisurushek choton cheung'otin mising chetinye ngoroik chebo mitumba.
Every bill that will legislate will have clauses, and therefore there is nothing that you ever superimpose on a bill. And it is rightful that anyone who purports anything is in a bill must point out where that is in the bill. Because what is in the bill can only come through an amendment, either from the committee report, and that is why we debate the bill supported by the committee's report. Anything else, unless as a private member, I want to bring a proposal, and none of them has brought any alternatives. Even those who went for public participation have not even read, the members of parliament, like the member for Kiharo, has not even read the report to see what was said of his proposals in the public participation report.
The National Assembly is a place of debate. Why end a debate understanding Order 95 that you do not want us to debate any further, you want us to vote? We came to Bunge to debate, to argue. If members of the executive represented here by their sycophants do not want a debate, why bring it to Parliament? Parliament is a place of debate.
This House cannot turn into a voting machine. We must be able to debate, and we must be able to articulate our issues. I've heard they came here and started talking about me. I want to tell them, yes, it is true that Mutumba is actually mentioned in the finance bill in 2026. And it is in clause 31. I don't know when they say that we don't read. I wonder what they read.
This is
bringing confusion, and service is not being rendered to Kenyans, services that they deserve, and this must be addressed. Another reason why I will vote no. Generally, I know that this system does not have the interest of Kenyans at heart, and therefore we need change.
Kotokimiten logoiwek cheu choton chetinye ak budget ko kakomwa serikalitab county noton nebo Nandi kole koimuch kotaban budget nebo silingishek bilionishek 11 en somanetab budget nebo kenyitab 2026 ak 2027. Chuton ko en chepkondok choton bilionishek 11 ko bilionishek 8 koyobu serikalit neo anan serikalitab boror ak chepkondok alak chetoge bilionishek 2 kowendi serikalitab county nebo Nandi koyumi kobun aisirushek ak milionishek 800 kobunu kebeberwek anan grants chenotin missing ko conditional grants. Konech koindab logoiwechu sindenyon county nebo Nandi Elwin Cherop.
Kongolali yekangobata kosomani budget en county assembly komwa CC nebo rabishek en county nebo Nandi Alfred Lagat kole wendi koboisie serikalitab county nebo Nandi shilingishek bilion 11 en sectors cheterter.
We've made a budget of 11 billion Kenya shillings, out of which we expect to receive 8 billion shillings from the national government, which is the national shareable revenue, and we expect to collect 2 billion shillings from our own source revenue, and also about 800 million shillings from conditional grants. We've made these estimates of our own source revenue this high. This is the highest ever because we recently approved our valuation roll. It was approved by the county assembly, which gives us the power now to collect land rates from the residents of Nandi, and we estimate that we'll be able to collect about 790 million from land rates. We also expect to get an amount of 260 million shillings from cess. We work with the stakeholders both in the tea sector and sugar sector to maintain the roads under the cess program. And lastly, we expect to collect about 980 million shillings from the facilities improvement funds. That is money that is collected through SHA and retained by the hospitals for improvement and offering of services at that level.
Kamwa ine kole wendi kokesu projects chekikakosakwansa Governor Sang eng taminyi nebo let ole kates komwa ine kole wendi konyoru baraindo neo sekta nebo somanet missing ko ECD koboto sekta nebo kabatishetab kawek.
For the last 9 years of this administration, we've been building structures, but this budget is big on soft issues. We are looking at hiring teachers. We're looking at hiring medical officers. We're looking at equipping our hospitals. We're looking at offering ECD learning materials. And we're looking at basically the softer issues, including maintenance of roads and less of brick and mortar or structures. We've dedicated 32% of this budget, translating to about 3.6 billion to development. The rest go towards recurrent.
Kamwa MCA neindochin committee nebo budget Edwin Korir kole pendi ichek kongalale budget notok asikosirto.
We are now looking forward to approving this budget come next week. We will be looking for a good week next week because a number of aspects has been captured, and our work now is to appropriate to the relevant departments, and we are going to ensure that we are sorting out that. So I am really appealing to our colleagues, that is the county assembly members, we are going to work on the same.
Kongetege taunitab Kapsabet County nebo Nandi, Logoiywekab Emet chebo Nenyon TV, kainenyu ko Elwin Cherop.
Ak ingistoenge logoiwek chetinyegei ak budget chitab kolenjin ketokchinigei logoiwek alak ole kokecher sigik en county noton nebo Narok koker kole kaistoengei ichek kit neboisien yautik choton chebo kipkaa anan ng'ololutik chebo kipkaa asikobit kowong yautik chetinye kakwetetab imanda noton nebo lagok. Kong'ololi en betutab amut komwa ofisaek anan en betutab oin komwa ofisaek alak chetinyegei ak imanda noton nebo lagok en igorta nekokiboiboenjin akobo igorta noton nebo lakwet nebo Africa anan African Child International Day nekokiyai en kebeberta nebo Enkare Narwo en county noton nebo Narok. Kechel kora sigik en kebeberwek choton konde tai missing tetutik choton chebo somanet ak missing en somanet noton nebo lakwet ne chepto. Kokimuche kecher ichek koker kole kaimuche komut lagokwak koitita sukulishek cheterterchin choton chekiketech en kebeberwek choton.
we have to ensure ukeketaji tumemaliza. Early marriage, let me call it by its name, child marriage. Mutaketi chini ya mti na mama ama na mzee kwa vijana, muongeleshwe. Ndio mtu akikuchekesha lika ya baba yako, unamwambia adaiti asiguzwe. Hatuendi kuongea na tunapewa buzi. Let's not cover each other.
Tunapata kesi mingi sana huko kote. Zingine watoto wanadhulumiwa zaidi, wananyanyaswa kimapenzi, wengine wanapachikwa mimba, na pia tumefundishwa hii notification of birth. Kwanza kabisa kama kesi zile za unajisi, kipengele moja ni you have to prove the age of a child. Tafadhali wapate birth certificate wakati wa kushuli kama sahi, mapema sana. Inasaidia.
Hapa ni mahali sina wasichana. The whole school that is sitting on over 100 acres of land, and with all the resources, I am only having 53 students. Yet, when we move out, there are so many girls who are not in school. You wonder why we should have a facility like this, and children are out there without getting education. These girls wametoka community abayo, it does not really value the education of the girl child. And therefore, ningeomba tuweze kusaidiwa, msichana awe ni wa Engale Nairobi, awe ni wa anywhere in this republic. This is a boarding school, it is a C3 school, mumulete hapa, waweze kutumia hizi facilities.
Akikistan noton chitab Kalenjin ketokni logoiwek chetinye ke boriet nekitokyin asoya ole koimuche kokoshin chi emotinwek chetitoge 43 chebo emotinwek chebo Afrika ak kosirchin nebo koborien yautik chebo asoya en emotinwek choton tugul chebo Afrika. Niton ko en kasarta nekokimuche kelumda ketesiet noton nekikirindoen yautikab asoya nenaat mising ko Center of Excellence for Anti-Corruption Studies and Research anan SEREAC en kanaset neo nebo Nairobi en emetab Kenya. Kong'ololchin sirikab logoiwek en betutab amut komwa Attorney General Dorcas Oduor akoboto nebo ng'echeret en commission neborien yautikab asoya en emoni EACC noton ko Bishop Dr. David Oginde kole lumdaet noton nebo ketesio noton kowendi kotoreti mising en boriet noton nekitokyin yautikab asoya che en atkan tugul ko nan kechore malikab boror ak keib koba emotinwek alak.
The uptake of technology is very high, but the response to technology is very expensive. No country can do it alone, and no country can do it without research. And for that reason, this center is going to develop data, come up with typologies. Because of the instability of most countries in Africa, you find that people who are involved in corruption would rather stash their monies or invest elsewhere in Africa, in which case Africa is still not benefiting. A big percentage, could even be more than 10%, of the monies that are meant for development in the whole of Africa is lost to corruption and also to illicit financial flows.
It's very difficult for us to know whether monies has been put aside that some people are going to exploit unless you can actually try and dig that out.
Let us try and trace their networks, their collaborations through careful research and study. So graft is becoming more and more difficult to deal with the systems that we have used in the past. And so we must together innovate using new technology like artificial intelligence,
Agene logoiwek alak chetab Kalenjin ketokyin logoiwek chetinye ke ak kabatisiet ole kokecher kabatik en emoni koker kole kaimuch koboisien ortinwek chebo kasari en kabatisienywan. Ole niton ko cherset koyob minista en ministry nebo kabatisiet en emoni Mutahi Kagwe nekomwa kole nyolu mising kotorchigei kabatik en emoni koker kole kaboisien mashinisiek asikobit konyorunen kelchin kabatisienywan. Kong'ololi ine en exhibition nenaat mising ko Agri-Tech exhibition en kanasetab Nairobi.
Change does not come very easily. And people who are used to doing things in a certain way, like to continue doing the same way that they have done for a long time. And that's why I keep on talking about the younger generation and youth, youth entry into the farming sector. Because that is one. Obviously, the second one has been the issue of affordability. Because tractors generally speaking, in the past, have been very expensive animals. You are talking about 4 million shillings plus. But now, as you can see, there is introduction of very good, very efficient, but very well priced tractors.
Agene logoichoton chitab Kalenjin koyob ministry noton nebo kabatisiet kitukyin yoton logoiwekab emet chebo saisiek chu kong'eten ketesiet noton nebo Nenyon TV nekoto director nenyunet en betutab raini Alan Kiprono kekurenon Bett Elkana komwoe kongoi amun kesibe logoiwekyok en raini.
Nenyon TV.